Hey guys, in this video we're going to create this dashboard design in Adobe XD. So by the end of this video we're going to create this dashboard from scratch and you're going to learn tips and tricks of my workflow. And by the way, I'm creating an Adobe XD course at the moment, so when it's going to be available, it's going to be in the link in the description. Now without further ado, let's jump into the tutorial. Alright, so let's get started and let's create this dashboard. So the very first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to create the side menu on the left. So we're going to make it quite big, so just using the rectangle tool. And by the way, I'm also going to use the keyboard viewer so that you guys can see everything that I'm doing also on the keyboard. And the very first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to set the tone by using some text for the text elements on the left. Now let's go ahead, let's type in the very first menu item, and I'm going to simply duplicate this just a few times. There you go. And we're actually going to have a few of these which are going to be nested inside the very last menu item so that we have them right at our disposal. Actually, let's do like this, and yeah, this would do. Let's move it down just a little bit, just so we can get the feeling of the side menu and really start working on a solid base. Now I'm going to bring these guys here. I'm going to change the titles here. It's going to be let's say settings. It's going to be user, payments, and invoices. All right. Also, we're going to add at the very last section of the side menu the name, and we're also going to add some sort of like copyright. So all right, perfect. So this is it, and we're good to go when it comes to this section. Now let's go ahead and let's also go and create the top section. Now before doing that, I'm just going to cut off a little bit the text right here. I'm going to make it smaller since it's going to look better. And let's make it just a little bit smaller. We're also going to change the fonts just before we forget. Or maybe let's go with this one, Helvetica New. It's quite good for these kind of like UIs. It's quite of a kind of a neutral font, and it's an evergreen in the design field. So definitely a really good option if you want to go with that one. I'm going to just write in one corporation XYZ. Actually, let's remove this one. It doesn't really look that clean. So, and we're also going to add some sort of like circle on the top. All right, perfect. Now let's just select these guys. In just a moment, we're also going to add an icon, or actually a few icons. So this is really going to start to take place. But before we do that, I'm actually going to go here, and I'm going to just change just add some more elements so we can really see the structure from a high level and see if we're happy with it. That is looking good. So it's going to be overview, which is a little bit smaller. And we're also going to go ahead and create a duplicate of this rectangle. All right, perfect. So to do the trick, and let's start adding the first icons. Now the first icon which I'm going to use is going to be an arrow, and I'm using nucleo icons so that you can easily drag and drop them. Just go on nucleo, I think it's nucleoapp.com, or simply type in Google nucleo icons. You're going to find it right away. You can download this free app for the Mac. So I just want to search for icon, for arrow, and let me have a look for a dedicated arrow which could look good. And yeah, this one will do the job. Let's bring this one over here, and we're in business. Now the other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to bring this one up in order to differentiate it a little bit. Now let's start kind of like creating the base for the entire content. So that's going to be in so let's go ahead and let's create the actual details of the individual. So I'm just going to duplicate here. Gonna have a icon right here. Also going to have the name. And what I'm trying to do is essentially going and create some sort of base so that I can see if the entire design structure is working. And then after that, I'm going to go into more granular details and really tackle this in a more specific way, or actually creating the UI design and all the cool stuff that we're going to see in just a bit. So all right, I think this is a good base. Let's make this one smaller. And what I'm gonna do next is to start adding some icons also here, and I'm also going to start adding the shadow just to get a feeling for the project. And dashboard. So for the dashboard, I'm going to go with this one here. Now have some for the analytics. I'm gonna go with this one. Settings. So for settings, we're gonna go with this one here. We have users, which is going to be this one. So as you can see, I'm just going one by one and just trying to figure out the right icons for each and every one of these elements. Invoices, and well, we don't need an icon for the user, but we definitely need an icon for the main corporation. Maybe I'm gonna go with one of these. Yeah, maybe this icon right here on the world. So okay, cool. I think we're in a good position at the moment. Let's just scale up these guys just a bit, and I'm going to make them like this. Can like try to manually adjust these icons so that they're they have more or less the same size. And yeah, I think we're in a good position. And maybe just a little bit thicker, not too thick. I'm gonna go with 1.5. And I'm going to bring these icons here. All right, maybe want to make them just a little bit less less gray, so that it's going to be more of a light gray. And I'm just going to go over here and start adding the icons manually. So that's that. Actually, I think I went a little bit too far. It should be here, it should be here, and same for these guys. All right, select, going to group them, and I'm also going to bring these guys and left align them with the settings. Same for this one and this one here. All right, so I think overall it's looking pretty good. I think we need an icon for the settings as well, and cool. So yeah, that's a good. I think I already had a narrow icon somewhere. Oh, here it is. So I'm just going to borrow it, select here, make it smaller, twist it, and we're gonna be good to go. And yeah, just make it smaller a bit. Cool. I think overall this is looking good. I'm probably just going to select all of these guys and like bring them a little bit more to the right. And I'm going to select this icon, bring it in the center, center it vertically, horizontally, and going to change the color. It's going to be this bright blue, and also the border color, because we want to give it a little bit less emphasis. All right, so far so good. Then comes the fun part. Let's add a shadow. Let's remove the border, and let's just give it a little bit of a shadow here. This one we're going to make it pure black, and we're also going to add over here a profile picture. Cool. So for the profile picture, I'm going to go over here, plugins, and I have this plugin called UI Faces. So I can source it from any one of these. I'm going to click on apply, and I'm just going to try and find a profile picture which has colors that look well with this design. So yeah, maybe something around these lines. Maybe black and white could also work quite well. It's just a matter of like trying and yeah, just generating a few faces. This was good, but it's not cropped in the right way. So yeah, it's just a matter of like finding a picture that looks good overall, I guess. I would go with something like more black and white or with light tones. And I know it's a very small detail, but it all adds up in the final UI. So definitely something to keep in mind and like not disregard. I'm probably going to go on forever since I'm very picky about these kind of things. Okay, this will do. Let's let's stop here, otherwise it's going to be an entire video just on selecting faces. Anyways, that being said, let's go ahead here, let's copy this style, let's add some surroundedness to the borders, as you can see right here. And let's make the overview smaller, maybe even thinner. Do we have here at our disposal? Okay, yeah, we'll keep it like this for now, and then we'll see what to do in the future. So that's that. Let's add a search icon. And if I can select it, I'll bring it to the very right. I'm also going to add a bell icon. So that's going to be for the app notifications. And I'm actually going to bring this one again, if I manage to select it, on the right of the search icon. And I'm probably going to add a line divider between these two icons right here. Cool. So far so good. I'm probably going to add also an oval shape over here, just to add some like some sort of notification. And I'm just going to add a fill inside of it, and assign it a number, which is going to be 3. I'm going to make this one smaller, bold, or medium. Yep, medium will do. Going to make it white, and yeah, cool. I think we're doing good. I'm going to use the same icon as we do here, and essentially we're going to be good to go when it comes to this part of the design. And yeah, that's so far so good. We just increase the size just a little bit, not too much. And cool. Now I guess I need some sort of inspiration from for the bottom section. So I'm going to leverage one of my UI kits, which I designed some time ago, and by the way, which is available on UI8. Just click the link in the description if you want to view it over there. And I'm probably going to grab one of these elements. With this one right here. This graph is looking pretty cool, and yeah, if I can select it, that would be a good achievement. And I'm just going to bring it over here and stretch it just a bit, and I'm going to bring this guy on the bottom, and I'm not sure what to do exactly with the graph, but we're going to sort out something. And as you can see, I'm kind of like freestyling in this video. So, and by the way, if you don't have the graph, you can either click in the link in the description, so you can download this entire source file for free. Alternatively, you can simply use the vector tool and kind of like create the graph pixel by pixel. Just apply a border. I also have this overlay, which you can create again going pixel by pixel and then applying a gradient, which starts from the top and then at the bottom has zero transparency, and then pretty much it's pretty straightforward here. Just create lines and text, and you should be pretty much good to go. So let's move this item right here, and just need to move the keyboard a bit. I'm going to add here graph and make this just a bit smaller, and probably want to change the name. Graph is not that explicative, so we're going to market graph, market analysis. Yeah, this already looks and sounds more professional. Also going to copy one of these lines, going to flip it 90 degrees. I'm going to bring it here, and over here I'm just going to, yeah, just extend these two elements. Oops. Here, graph, so that it covers the entire width of this container. So, all right, again, so far so good. Now, one thing that we definitely want to do is to add some sort of background to the artwork. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to simply select this and start playing around with some ideas for the background, maybe something around these lines, but we would definitely want to soften the shadows or even get rid of them. Actually, let's just get rid of the shadows altogether. I think this is going to end up looking a little bit better. And let's go back here. Let's try a tint which is just a little bit more visible, because otherwise the two will blend in their background a little bit too much. Yeah, something around these lines, that would do. Okay, perfect. Also, I noticed that the arrow should change. Perfect. And now one thing that we definitely want to consider is to add some sort of a drop down to view different calendar dates. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Again, here, let's create this drop down. Let's go ahead and create the border. Let's make it 1.5. Give it a radius. Also need the text. And we're gonna make it just a bit smaller. Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna make up some numbers. No, it's not going to be perfect actually. Let's Jan, and let's add a calendar in the mix. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna go with this one. Oops. Cool. So far, so good. And let's create the second one over here. I'm just going to select both of them and bring them to the very right. Cool. Cool stuff. It's going to be 2. And let's go ahead and make it gray. Okay, perfect. So this is good. And we're in business. So this overall is looking pretty good. Now I need some more inspiration from for the bottom section, since I have no idea what we can potentially add. So I'm just going to have a look again at this UI kit that I built some time ago, and I'm probably going to go over here and grab some of these elements just to have some sort of like reference, and also this. So we're basically going to end up using a table, and we'll need to adapt all of the individual text layers. So that's something that we're gonna do right now. So when it comes to using UI kits, you can just like copy and paste them into a file and expect them to simply work, because as you can see, they have like a different style, they have a different typography, so you need to take in account all of these elements. And actually, now that I'm looking this other title, I think that I could probably go with something around these lines. I could probably pull it off. Maybe medium, just a little bit smaller. Cool. So I'm just going to copy and paste this style, the appearance. So it's going to be the same. Perfect. Let's left align these guys. Maybe let's make them one smaller. All right. And then we need to change all of the text right here. So I'm just going to select all of that. And for some reason I was expecting something like Sketch does, which enables you to change the typography. Oh, okay, yeah, and it's exactly like Sketch. So basically I just needed to deselect the rectangle in order to access this bulk selection tool. All right, so let's go ahead here. And it's going to be a Helvetica new. And we're also going to change the text size just a little bit here. Make it maybe 11 or 12 actually. Yeah, 12 will definitely do the job. And I'm also going to duplicate this guy right here, bring it here, and then I'm just going to duplicate a few times this table rows. Cool. So overall, this is looking good. Probably want to bring this one up, just a few touches, and so that I can have a view more element here below. View more, and I'm going to center this guy. I'm also going to add a plus, which I'm going to make bigger, and cool. Probably I'm going to make this one blue as well, just to really make it pop out a little bit more. Cool stuff. Now what I noticed is that I messed it up here when it comes to the height, so I definitely want to bring this one up just a bit more, like so it looks better. Also these guys, not too sure about their height, so yeah, maybe like touch or two, and yeah, this should be pretty good to go. Now I would need some sort of like plugin in order to add some lorem ipsum text. I'm actually wondering if there is anything like the craft plugin. Actually, let's check out the most popular ones. I remember I installed it and then for some reason I uninstalled it, but yeah, you can definitely find like a lot of interesting plugins here. I just would need to research which one I'm exactly need, because I'm almost 100% sure that there's definitely going to be something around these lines. I guess this lorem ipsum, is it, does this add like all sorts of text, or is it just like specific? Because I already have it, so let me check it out. Click lorem ipsum. Okay, anyways, just going to go the old way and just enter some text randomly. All right, and it's going to be 2 a.m. It's going to be 6 p.m. 2:56 p.m. and we're good to go. Cool. We're almost there. Perfect. And we're actually going to change this one to send. Oops. Send, and these two guys are going to be completely blue. Just going to change this one to 10% or 14%. Yeah, let's go with 12. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is looking pretty good. Probably want to give it a shot at making this one regular as well. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Maybe these menu items are a little bit too big, far too big. So should be something around these lines. Cool. So we got it. The only thing that we might want to do is just clean up the layers real quick. I won't go into like the details, but yeah, I'm just going to select the layers, right, the inside menu. It's going to be the header. And again, if it was a client project, I would just go in layer by layer and create like all sorts of groups. But since it isn't, I'm just going to create something which, you know, kind of resembles some sort of like layering. Quest is going to be in the, oops, market analysis, and I'm going to group all of it and call it main. Cool, guys, so we have this dashboard, and again, if you're interested in checking out this full UI kit, I'm going to leave the link in the descriptions for you guys. And yeah, thanks for watching. And if you want this dashboard, I'm going to leave the source file in the description.